A deadly Monster Tamer game that brings an Evangelion-inspired world and mixes it with a nostalgic Generation 2 Pokémon feel is about to be free, but only for a limited time. To support the launch of its upcoming sequel, Dokimon Quest is about to be 100% off on Steam. Dokimon opens with a girl from your town being attacked by monsters in the forest. More than 100 years ago, a comet crashed into the planet, bringing the Doki monsters with them. The destruction of the comet and the following battles against the monsters has left half of the planet destroyed and over 70% of humanity dead. Some Dokimon are safe, but many are dangerous. Especially after the disappearance of that girl, many villagers are worried about any young people wandering into the forest. But some strange force has lured your best friend into the same spot and left her unconscious. But of course, you don't let any of that nonsense stop you. With your mom's whisper and your choice of starter Dokimon, you'll embark on a quest to learn about the monsters, fight an evil organization, and hopefully not die in the process. The starter Dokimon follow the same types you would expect, but the new types and matchups take a while to get used to, but it's fun having a coverage move I wasn't expecting land a super effective hit on me in the early game. Unfortunately, I still have a lot of other art locks to finish before I make a full video on Dokimon, but I wanted to show off the starters and draw them. The Fire Starter Burnsby was initially my favorite when I first heard about this game. The game uses a limited palette for the monster sprites, which give it a really cool retro look, but as a consequence, I kinda have to guess the colors, so I'm likely off, but here's my Burnsby. The Grass Starter Bulbapod is my least favorite, but is a very interesting design. And I was surprised to learn that Grass is actually a pretty incredible offensive type early in the game. I read the design as a bug, sort of with flower petals around the head and like a trench coat of grass or leaves covering the body, so here is my take on Bulbapod. Easily the best starter is the water type Squibly, the Anchor Impaled Dokimon. Like, come on, that is cool. His first evolution's adorable. The final evolution, Kraken Core, the Shipwreck Dokimon, is one of my favorites in the whole game. And unsurprisingly, I think it's also my favorite drawing. Aside from the Dokimon themselves, the overworld and character sprites are beautiful. This almost feels like a Generation 2 deluxe game. The character sprites and battle sprites give Pokemon Crystal vibes, but the overworld and character portraits hit a level of polish Pokemon either didn't hit until much later, or honestly, never hit. Especially at night, this world is beautiful, almost to its detriment. When you find a large mermaid-esque monster destroying a village, my first thought was how pretty it looked, only for an NPC to remind me that it was laying waste to their homes. The game uses a mix of new and familiar language. Some items or mechanics are given the same names they have in Pokemon, which helps streamline the learning curve for the game mechanics. But Dokimon handles many frustrating aspects of early Pokemon much better. The battles feel a little slow, so there's a speed up button. HMs are a pain, so just give the player a sword to cut down trees, and an emergency fast travel button to return to your room. Walking back to the PC to swap your team around sucks, so give them a way to do it basically everywhere. The character portraits during dialogue scenes help bring more personality to the cast. Although, personally, with my inability to learn anybody's name on my first watch or playthrough of something, the limited palette did trip me up a couple times. At the beginning, basically each important character of the game is given a unique color, except for two who are both red, so I ended up mixing up which character was which. Speaking of characters, you are also given a pretty large roster of player designs to choose from. Each change your appearance for color, gender, and trainer class. This game gets a lot right. The exploration is fun, finding hidden items and berries feels very familiar, the overworld sprites of the Dokimon are very cute, and having your lead monster follow you just feels right, especially with the Johto comparisons. But Dokimon is very clearly its own game, where a lot of Pokemon-adjacent monster tamers in recent times feel like they have nothing to say or only provide a lesser experience with a few nice features thrown in. Dokimon feels like a unique experience that draws from many different inspirations and packages them into a game that feels familiar yet exciting. Yanako RPGs is an inspiring small developer to follow, and their retro look mixed with the fun gameplay is a treat. This video was not sponsored, nor did I receive my copy for free. I just really love the art and direction Yano takes their games, and I really wanted to help spread the word. Dokimon Quest will be free on August 24th on Steam. The sale lasts for 48 hours, but once you claim it, you keep the game forever. It is also available on Nintendo Switch, which is where I bought my copy. Make sure to check the Steam page frequently, because Steam apparently will not send out notifications when it's free. And if you like art and Pokemon Nuzlocke, check out my recent art lock, or if you're worried about the end of Pokemon Bank, please watch my video to get everything you need. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe because being a small YouTuber sucks the life from my soul.